It's finally here. We are less than 2 days away from the biggest game of the Michigan football season against TCU, a team that you should beat. I just hate that we've had pretty much a month layover since we played our last football game against Purdue in the Big Ten Championship, and it's been a month since we beat Ohio State. It just seems like it just cools off because the Lions got hot. Everyone starts focusing on the NFL. We get away from college football, and then boom, it's just right back in our lap. It's time to get hyped back up for Michigan's biggest game of the season. And eventually, next year, when they expand the college football playoff, or whenever they're expanding the college football playoff, we're not going to have a month layover. We're going to have a December college football playoff format where we're not going to be bored. We're not going to be waiting so long to watch our team play the biggest game of the season against TCU, a team that you should beat. And what is awesome about this year, Michigan's a very young football team. It's freshman and sophomore led. A lot of players were with Michigan last year when they lost to Georgia, so I don't think the lights are going to be too big this year. I think Michigan's going to go in there and take it as a business trip. We're not going to be like, oh, we're in the college football playoff. We're not going to be, even us fans, we were all hyped. We beat Ohio State last year. We were like, oh, we made it to the college football playoff. Now we got to go compete for the national championship, and that's what I think this team and these players are realize. The lights can't be too big this year. And that's how I feel that these lights are going to be a little too big for TCU. But we'll get into that later in the video. The lights shouldn't be too big. Anyways, go blue. What it do? It's your boy, T. Back at it again with another episode of Talking with T, where we talk about chasing down the best version of ourselves, and we talk about Detroit sports. If that interests you, do me a favor and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. It really helps this channel grow and get in the algorithm, and I really appreciate you for taking the time out of your day to rock with me, T. So let's dive right into this college football Fiesta Bowl, Michigan versus TCU preview, man. I'm so pumped. I'm ready to go. We're less than 2 days away. Let's get into it, man. Max Duggan is a game changer. Max Duggan, from the games that you see TCU highlights or the games that you get to catch TCU on TV, Max Duggan, runner-up in the Heisman Trophy finalist, is a baller. If you watch that Kansas State game, the Big 12 championship game, where TCU lost and they thought they were going to get bounced from the college football playoff, Max Duggan was playing his heart out. There was a time where he ran all the way down the field, scored a touchdown for TCU, and he just couldn't get up. He was so exhausted. He puts everything into the game. And if Michigan lets the ball, if they let Max Duggan get in control of the game, let him get hot, Michigan could be in trouble, which I don't think so. I think Michigan's got a good game plan. They've had a good game plan all season long in shutting down star players. Max Duggan is a baller. That's someone that could win the game for TCU if we don't take care of business, and I firmly believe Michigan will take care of business against Max Duggan. Another player on offense that Michigan's got to really pay attention to, is very underrated because of Max Duggan and the big wide receiver they got on the outside, is their running back. Their running back had 30 less carries than Blake Corum and was right behind Blake Corum in touchdowns and in stats. This running back is good, and if we sleep on this running back, if we sleep on the run game, they could run all over Michigan. But like I said, I think Michigan's ready to go this year. I don't think the lights are going to be too big. I think they know what they got to do on defense to shut down Max Duggan, and I think they know what they got to do to shut down the run game with that running back, Kendre Miller. That guy is a baller, and that's someone we got to really key in on. Another guy you really got to key in on is that wide receiver I just mentioned a little bit ago, Quentin Johnson. He's going to be a top wide receiver in this NFL draft. Not the top wide receiver, but he's going to be a top wide receiver in this NFL draft. He's long, he's tall, and he might present some matchup problems for Will Johnson or DJ Turner or Jamon Green, whoever's out there. They might have to put some double coverage. Makari Page over the top. Makari Page is pretty big, so that's big bodies on big bodies. But they also got a little bit of wide receivers that can do a lot too. This is going to be an interesting matchup, and Michigan's defense has got to show up to play against a team that offense keeps them in games and an offense that wins them football games. I'm not really scared about their defense. Their defense is good. But right now, their offense could win them this game if we don't come to play on defense, which I firmly believe we are going to come in and we're going to be ready to play to shut down Max Duggan, shut down their run game, and shut down that big wide receiver. This is where it's going to be a little dicey, is when we get into the offensive side of the ball. But right now, they're Big 12 games. I don't think they really can compete with a Big 10 team. Like, look at these. TCU had a close game against Texas, who's ranked, but Texas has lost 3 or 4 games this year. Texas Tech, Baylor, who's unranked now, and West Virginia, man. This is a very winnable game, and like I said, I'm extremely confident Michigan comes in and does what they've been doing all year. They should have no problem with TCU this year. Now let's get into the offensive side of the ball. TCU runs at 3-3-5, which is very effective in stopping down a power run game. Michigan's offense, our identity, is a power run game. Oluwatimi is going to be a huge factor in this game, getting the right protection for J.J. McCarthy, and just the offensive line, it's going to be one in the trenches is what I'm trying to get at. The 3-3-5 is very effective in stopping the run game. They're going to send all kinds of stunts, whatever you want to call it. They're just going to try to confuse J.J. McCarthy, going to try to confuse the offensive line. But if Michigan does what they've been doing all season long, keep staying true to who you are, we should wear down TCU by the end of the game, and Michigan should win this game 38-21. That's my prediction. I think Michigan is a better football team than TCU, and I think the lights are kind of going to be too big for TCU. It's kind of like how I'm viewing TCU as how I viewed Michigan last week. Just like thrilled to be there. Like made the college football playoff, had a hell of a season. Like that's how I'm viewing this game. And I really believe Michigan should win 38-21, or it should be somewhere in that range of a score. But if it's a shootout where TCU puts up over 35 points, watch out, Michigan. We got to play our brand of football. Can't get away from our identity. If you do that, Michigan should win this football game. I'm super thrilled. Let's go win this Fiesta Bowl, and let's get a rematch against Ohio State, which I don't know if I really want, or let's get a rematch against Georgia in the national championship game, and let's bring a national championship home, which I think is a mission for these players and these coaches. That's what Jim Harbaugh wants. That's what J.J. McCarthy wants. That's what Blake Corum wants. That's what Donovan Edwards wants. That's what this whole defense wants. It's your boy T signing out. Go Blue. Let's go win this thing.